Dear Fundoo Class students, how are you? Welcome to the session. Here we are going to talk about future tense. Hi to everybody. Before we commence with the session, could I please request you to use the share button and invite all your friends for the class? Wouldn't it be so much fun when all of us would be learning this very interesting concept of future tense? So let's get started. My name is Juhi. I have 12 years of experience in training students for various competitive exams. I also happen to be a life skills coach and a content creator. I have done my bachelor's in technology and master's in business administration. Hi to everybody, welcome to the session. Here we are going to talk about future tense. Isn't it very exciting? Before we start with the discussion of future tense, we have already covered 8 categories. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't that amazing, right? So we have talked about simple present, we have talked about present continuous, we have talked about present perfect, we have talked about present perfect continuous. Similarly, we have talked about simple past, we have talked about past continuous, we have talked about past perfect and past perfect continuous. So yes, we have started with the discussion of future tense. Now we'll be talking about future tense in today's class, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Right. So, see, when we talk about future tense, I'm sure it is very clear from the name itself that we use this tense when we talk about things that are going to happen in the coming time. Right. So, those events that have not happened as yet, those things that have not occurred as yet, that's going to happen in the coming time, in the future. So, that's where we talk about the term future tense. It's very simple, as the name itself suggests that. So let's do some examples, right? So this year, Jen will read War and Peace. It will be hard, but she's determined to do it, right? So we talk about actions or conditions that will begin and end in the future. So the event is going to happen in the near time, right? So you can make a lot of other sentences. I will join yoga classes in the coming future. I'll join, what else would you want to join? I will join Pilates sessions, or, I will soon be going for my master's abroad, right? So, activities that are going to happen in the near future, that's where we use the future tense. I'm sure we are sorted with a simple concept, right? So, let's further see. How do we make it? Now, I always say that, knowing the formula is important, and you can always make a chart or a table of all the tenses using the formulas they have, and also the usage and examples. So how do we make a chart? Make a chart. Tenses will become really easy for you to absorb if you have this chart hanging on your wall, right? So make it very fun and creative, and don't spend time. So I'm not saying that you have to invest 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day. Maybe just glancing it for a minute should be sufficient. A minute in a day, right? And that too just for a small period of time till you are absolutely thorough with the concept, right? That sort of an investment I'm sure you can do. So just to give you a look, you can name the tense. So here we can write the tense, right? So all the 12 tenses. Then you can write the formula here in the next column. Then you can write about the usage, right? And always ensure that you're doing some examples, right? So that helps you learn better. So maybe like you're writing here simple present, right? So you can write the formula, that is verb first form. Okay. Now, if you talk about the second, which is present continuous, so you can write, okay, it is, am, or are, plus verb first form plus ing, right? So and so on and so forth. Maybe if you just want a revision, I can write for all the categories that we have learned. So that would be a quick revision for you. So a formula, we'll write it here, and let's do that. Okay, where is my marker? It is here. Now let's talk about present perfect. Right? So when we talk about present perfect, it is has or have plus verb third form, right? So that way, you'll have a chart where everything is there on the, that particular chart, all the tenses, so you can compare and contrast, and you know which tense to use at what place. At times what happens, it becomes too confusing and you are bamboozled, you are really perplexed, right? And that only happens when we don't have discrete clarity. So of course we want a lot of clarity, we want a lot of understanding, and for that we need to put an effort. But how do we put an effort? Effort always in the right direction, right? If you are making an effort but that effort is not in the right direction, then that brings in disappointment, and that's what we would not want, right? So whatever time we are investing to improve ourselves, we need to ensure that it is absolutely done in the right way, right? So now when we talk about present perfect continuous, let me erase it, but I'm sure you are able to understand how this table is created, right? So this is a sample one, and maybe you know uh, you can innovate a little, but whenever we are innovating, it should always be something that should be immediately, you should be able to click and relate with it, right? So please ensure that you're doing it wisely. Now we have already talked about present perfect, so let's talk about present perfect continuous. I hope my writing is legible, right? So what you can do always is that whenever I'm speaking, you should pay attention also, and I'll also try that this comes out well. So this is has or have plus been plus verb first form plus ing, right? So where do we use simple past? Simple past is used for an action that has happened before, right? So we have covered all the categories of present. Now we are quickly revising the formulas before we actually come to the formula of a future tense. So that's always a good thing. I always say that whenever we are learning a new tense, always do quick revision of something that you have done before. That really brings in better realization, and that really helps get better clarity, right? So let's do some formulas for past also, and then we will come to the target of the day, right? So that's the reason I keep on revising the formulas, so that everything we are learning, you should be able to relate, and you should not forget the past things. So yes, simple past would be verb second form, right? Then when we talk about the second category of past, which is past continuous, you also call it past progressive, okay? So if you encounter this term present progressive or past progressive or future progressive, don't worry that what is this new thing. It's absolutely the same as, just different name. You can also call it past continuous, you can also call it past progressive, right? So we use had, right? And then verb first form plus ing, right? And how do we make past perfect? We make past perfect like this. We'll use had plus verb third form, right? And now we have to write past perfect continuous. So when we write past perfect continuous, this would be what? Had plus been plus verb first form plus ing. Bingo! Wow! So we have revised 8 formulas. Isn't that so exciting and amazing? And so simple, right? So let's now talk about future tense. I'll just quickly erase this so that you are not getting confused. I'm sure you remember all these things that we have previously discussed in detail, which is very, very important, right, to remember. Otherwise, if you will forget, then it would become difficult for us, right? So let's talk about the formula of future tense. So wherever you are making your notes, please ensure that you write the formulas correctly. Otherwise, you would not be able to solve the questions, right? And you would not be able to understand the difference either. So knowing the formulas is really, really important. Right, so how do we make the simple tense? Of course, we use a very simple formula. that we will write will plus root form of the verb. What is root form of the verb? Verb first form, right? So that's the root form of the verb. So I will go, I will eat, I will drink, I will play, I will teach. So you have to keep this in mind that when we are writing the formula, it would be will plus verb first form. So root form of the verb and verb first form means the same. So don't get perplexed that what's this new term, we don't know this. At times it happens in grammar, right? Since we are already having some fear or some phobia of tenses, especially tenses. Tenses are, I've seen really students are intimidated by the concept, but you'll definitely improve if you have, attention to these details, if you're paying a lot of focus, right? So your energies are absolutely, channelized. So when you will pay attention to these little details, then you will not get intimidated, right? So will plus root form of the verb. So you quickly write the formula. I'll give you 30 seconds and write one quick sentence along with the usage. So that's 3 points that you're writing. Formula, that's point number one. Second, write the usage, that where do we use the future tense for actions that are going to happen, that are going to start and end in the future, and make one or two quick sentences so that you have your quick bite ready for future tense, right? Quickly do it and then we'll proceed further. So I'm sure you have noted, and it's time to proceed further. So when we talk about the negative, so either there can be a question created, either it can be a negative sentence or it can be an affirmative, which is a positive sentence. So what do you do? Say we are writing this formula. Let me just write it. Right? So I will plus verb first form, right? So what do? You insert not in between here. I will not go, right? I will not eat. I will not play. I will not study. Oh, that's a bad sentence actually. But I will, not cheat. So this is how you can make some sentences. So between will and verb first form, you can put not to make the sentence negative, right? So this is how you can quickly read the sentences. We have made some sentences. He will not say anything bad about his boss, and I will not finish my homework in time for class. Why are we making these sentences, right? Little sad. So, but I hope the idea is clear to you. I hope the usage is clear to you. So you can quickly pen it down, just this much, that whenever we are making a negative future tense sentence, we'll have the formula will, and after will we'll put not, and then we'll place verb first form, right? So quickly 10 seconds to just quickly jot it down. I hope you're always keeping your notebooks and your pens and pencils handy, because grammar, if you try to do orally, verbally, without penning down, without writing, it doesn't really last longer, right? So I always suggest do a lot of scratch paper work. This brings in a better concentration and focus. This really channelizes your energy. So the energy is not trickling here and there, because you are continuously focusing on what teacher is saying. You're trying to write it down to ensure that the points stay with you, right? It's a very interesting technique to use the scratch paper. In fact, I've seen a lot of my seniors really encouraging me to ask the students to use the scratch paper work, and these have been really very senior and reputed and people who have renowned reputation in the field of training. So this comes from very wise teachers that you should really keep your pencil moving. That enhances your concentration and focus, right? So I'm going to further proceed. The next part is how to make a question. So what do? You just interchange the position of subject and will, and that's it. So will Jen finish War and Peace over the summer? So what I've done is just interchanging both these things, and we have our we have our question ready. So it's very simple. Will I have the discipline to study Spanish every day? What will you buy with the money you found, right? So all these are questions placed in the future tense. So I'm sure you're clear. Another 30 seconds to note it down, and then we'll proceed. So now there is an interesting drill, but before we go for the drill, you should take a quick break. So I'll give you 2 minutes, have a glass of water, take a quick break. If you are not in a mood to take a break, quickly revise. We have already learned the formulas. In fact, we have revised the formulas of 8 tenses already. You can make some sentences, you can, complete the chart, you can insert some examples there, or maybe you can talk about the usage, revise, go back in case you want to take a break. Nothing like it. Quickly have a glass of water, quickly take a quick snack that you can have in 2 minutes. Sounds very challenging, but you can still try, right? So let's take a break for 2 minutes and then start again with this interesting exercise. So we see some students coming back. Welcome again. So let's wait for another 1 minute for everybody to join, and then we will start with the exercise. So let's begin now. It's time to do the drill. So the instruction is very clear. You have 5 sentences on the screen and you have to complete these sentences using the future tense. So start doing it and then we will discuss it together. Take a minute, complete all these 5 sentences using future tense. You already know the formula and we can revise also. I can write it also. So it would be will plus verb first form, right? If you're making a negative one, it will be will plus not plus verb first form, right? And then it will be subject plus will plus verb first form in case we are making a question, right? So I'm sure we are clear. We have had a detailed discussion and now it's time to complete this particular exercise. There are 5 sentences on the screen. Complete these sentences using the future tense. So I'm sure we have finished the drill. Lots of correct answers coming our way. So let's quickly discuss and progress further. The stored water above the dash, above the dam in the rainy season. So we'll use will and we'll write will overflow, right? So an action that's going to happen in the future. The way his habits are, he dashed near the traffic signal on the highway in his coming days. That's sad, but we'll complete it. He will beg, right? She dashed the water in the milk to give to the customers until asked to do so. So not gives you this indication that we have to make a negative sentence. So we'll go for this. She will not mix the water in the milk to give to the customers until asked to do so. Her brother will always protect. So you can see at times there can be an adverb that comes before the verb, which is perfectly fine, right? So adverbs are words that tell you more about the verbs, adverbs and adjectives. So it is absolutely fine if between will and the verb you have an adverb inserted. If you don't know this, you can quickly write it, right? Don't get worried that why this always has come and from where this always has occurred. I am not sure about it, right? At times this happens, this brings in some doubt, so this should not happen. Note it down. So anything that's coming out to be new for you, you should always write it in bold. And as an habit, keep on looking at the pages whenever you get time, right? So this enhances your clarity, and this brings in a much better understanding, because there's so many rules, right? So at times what happens is, in between question solving, there's a quick thing that can be learned, right? So take those quickies through your way, so that you are getting better and you're sharpening your verbal ability and your grammar, right? So let's come to the last one. They will calculate. So that's going to happen coming Sunday. So that's how we make this sentence, right? So I'm sure we are clear with all these 5 questions. Move to the second part. Quickly complete this portion. We will then discuss it together. Quickly finish this. We see some answers coming for 6th, 7th and 8th. Let's do 9th and 10th also, and then we will discuss. So yes, we have got a lot of answers, and I'm very pleased to tell you that most of the answers are correct. Let's quickly discuss it. So yes, we will include another chopper. Will he suffer from fever due to the change in climate? Okay. I will change the free wheel of this machine tomorrow. So action that's going to happen in the future. She will not explain. So you can see when there is not in the bracket, that means you have to make a negative sentence, right? And let's see, John will, what will John do? John will reject. Oh, that's Strange, the job offer of the MNC of Cambridge, John's choice, right? So I am sure most of you have answered it correctly. In fact, I could see a lot of answers coming right, which is a great thing. Kudos to you. That's so amazing. That's fantastic, right? So what are we going to do now? You're going to do this homework. I always say homework is very important, right? Because that's one way where you are revising, you are relating to what has been taught in the session. So please ensure that you're not dilly-dallying. You are, at times students say, ma'am, it's so simple, what's the need? I do understand it's very simple, but you still need to do it. And if it's simple, good, you'll be able to do it quickly, isn't it? So please complete your homework. We do provide the answers also, so that will keep you more engaged and that will enhance your understanding, right? Now, what you can do is you can search us on Facebook group at Fundoo Class Live. You get daily free live classes for kids. You can also find us on Instagram, tag us at Fundoo Class Live, right? So we are everywhere. We are there for you on Facebook. We are there for you on Instagram. We have our own YouTube channel and the name of the channel is Fundoo Class. You can follow and like us on Facebook page at Fundoo Class as well, right? So there's so many places that you can connect. Also, we have an app. So you can download a Fundoo Class mobile app. You can easily get it on Play Store or on the App Store, depending on the versions of phones that you have or your parents have, right? So see, you can access that from so many different places. And then what are you going to do? This is very interesting part, that whatever you have learned, you should share your videos, right? And then you can receive a participation certificate. See, it's very important to have presentation skills. These skills are actually the need of the hour. These are life skills now, right? It's not only that teachers or HR professionals should have good communication skills or good presentation skills. It's practically, every next person needs to have it, or rather everyone needs to have it, and you will see that you will climb the success ladder in the coming future with a lot of ease. So this is one way to enhance your public speaking. It's one way where you're boosting your confidence, and with every video that you're going to make, you're going to get better. Believe me on this, right? At times, some students come to us later that we want to make it better, but when you are in your school, that's the best time where you can work on this skill set, right? A later stage of life, it really becomes difficult. It's not that it's not possible, but becomes slightly more tedious. Here it would be easy, it will come naturally to you, and that's be more effective thing to do, right? So definitely engage in this activity, definitely make a lot of videos. It will definitely bring a lot of confidence in your personality, and of course it's one easy way to revise the concept also. So it's absolutely a win-win situation, isn't it? And the last important suggestion which I always give to my students, that you have to ensure that you continue learning and continue revising, right? No matter how much no matter you feel that that's sufficient, that feeling should not come that I've learned sufficiently enough, right? So we are all learners, and we will only become the better version of ourselves when you'll have this fire to learn new things, new concepts, be it of grammar, be it of music, be it of life, right? So you should continue investing in yourself, keep learning and keep revising also. That's also very important. You learn new and you forget something that you did before. That's also something which is not appreciated. So it should be a continuous effort to get better, right? So I hope you really enjoyed the session. Please do post your videos, keep working hard, take good care of yourself. All the best.